What's up, my friends? John Baruti here from Baruti Success. Tonight we are talking about the 5 biggest mistakes new entrepreneurs make when they start a business. Stay tuned. Here we go. Listen to me. Starting a business is fun. It's challenging. It can be rewarding. It's a nightmare. It's awesome. It's euphoric, all tied up in one. The one common thing is you're gonna make a lot of mistakes as a new entrepreneur. Heck, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes as a seasoned entrepreneur. It just is what it is, right? But tonight I'm gonna go over the 5 most popular mistakes that entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, people in business that just start out, people that have been in business forever, all make. These 5 are on the top of the list, and here we go. Number 1, people don't do enough research. What? Hey, Sally! Sally's back there.
John, I don't understand. What are you talking about research?
Again, Sally's here. Thank you very much for coming, Sally. Always a pleasure seeing you. Research. So, we're sitting around the campfire. We're at our best friend's house, just shooting the breeze. We're together with a bunch of girlfriends and just saying what a great night it is. And then somebody comes up with and says, I have the best business idea in the world. Really? Really? Johnny, what do you got? Well, I'm going to sell these type of widgets. They say, that sounds like a great idea. Do that. Then Johnny goes, maybe he's got some money. Maybe he puts a stash away. Maybe he's got some money under the mattress and goes and starts the business without doing research, without talking to anyone, without looking at competition, without going to see the other widget makers. Nothing. He just starts. Let me ask you a question. You think he's going to succeed? The fact of the matter is 90% of new businesses fail within the first 5 years, okay? That's not good. So we need to do research. What do we need to do? We need to look at the market. We need to look at our competition. We need to visit our competition. We need to look at our competition's widget. We need to look at let's say we're doing a coffee house. We need to go and visit our competition's coffee house. Go sit down, see how they're doing it. What are they doing great? What are they doing horrible? What would I do? Make a note. What wouldn't I do? Make a note. Oh, I don't like them doing that. Make a note. Oh my God, they do that really awesome. Make a note. In order for you to succeed, you have to plan, right? As the old adage says, failing to plan is planning to fail. We don't want to fail, right? So we need to plan. We need to do our research. We need to do an analysis. What you have to do is you have to look at the trends in the industry. What industry? Okay, we're talking a coffee house. Are the trends of coffee houses going up? Well, around here they are. Maybe not such a bad idea to do a coffee house. Are there a lot of coffee houses? Maybe. Are there coffee houses that you're planning on doing? Is it a little bit different? Is the coffee coming from South Africa instead of Arabica? Is it coming from Brazil instead of Italy? Whatever it is. Do you have a specific thing you're going to do to be different than your competition? I don't know. You need to figure it out. You need to do your research. Will the market want that? Go and get your special beans and brew a cup and give it to some friends. What do you think, Joey? What do you think, Sally? Do you love the coffee?
It's okay. It's not so great.
Okay. That doesn't mean you failed. Just try a different coffee. This is how we start the process of starting a business. These are the things that normal business people that maybe haven't had a business before or even have had a business before and they're so, I have so many successful businesses. Of course I could start this. And they just go and do it. Well, just because you're hitting a 500 batting average doesn't mean you're going to do the next one right. Gotta research. And not number 2, it's 1A. Why is it 1A? I'll tell you why it's 1A. 1A is doing too much research.
John, I don't understand what you're saying.
Sally. Thank you. So, whereas you can't do zero research, there are people that have paralysis by analysis. They analyze, they analyze way too much, right? They talk to friends, they read books, years and years of research goes into, I'm gonna start a business. John, haven't you been working on that for 3 years? Yeah, I'm getting to it soon. Not good, okay? Too much research. You need to research enough to feel comfortable, but at some point you have to jump in. You can't continually go to school. You can't continually research the poop out of something. So there's research and there's too much research. You want to be in the middle with research, but not too much research, okay? Those are the one and 1A mistakes that new entrepreneurs make. Number 2, not having a clear business plan.
John, I hate business plans. I did that in ninth grade in Mr. Cooper's class, and I've hated it ever since.
Well, Sally, listen, if you don't like business plans, entrepreneurship, being in business, is not for you. I'm just here to tell you. In essence, I've created a business plan for every business I've done, every business I've theorized about doing, every business that I might have done. And again, it doesn't have to be a huge, blown out business plan. Okay, so some of you might know, some of you might not know, I am what's called a SCORE mentor. SCORE is a nonprofit organization that mentors entrepreneurs, business people for free, right? And they have a lot of great information. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link up the SCORE business plan template. It's extensive. You don't have to do the whole template from SCORE because it is extensive. There's 1,000 templates online of a business plan. I would get the essence of it. You know, basically, what's the name of your business? What's the objective of your business? Where are you going to get the funding for? What is the business going to do? Who are the key essential people in the business? Your main parts of the business. And then you structure, how am I going to grow the business? How am I going to get business? What is my marketing plan? And again, you don't have to be a business genius for any of this. You just have to put down the basics, right? And then grow from that. So now we have the basics. We have the name, we have the objective, we have what we're going to sell, how we're going to sell it, how we're going to get financing for it. We're going to do, if you could, again, if you're selling a widget and the widgets cost you A because you did your research and you're going to sell them for B, now you know your profit margin, right? All these things go into a good business plan. Again, I will link up the SCORE business plan template in the notes. It is essential that you have goals, that you have a plan, thus business plan. It's essential that you have a clear, concise way to get to profitability, to get to success, to get to, okay, I'm going to start it, but what do I want the sales to be? What are my goals? What do I need to break even? My rent is going to be this. My utilities are going to be that. How do we know any of that? Your research. Number 1, right? You've gone to competition, maybe 2, 3, 4 towns away, and you've gone there a bunch of time. You've asked for the owners, and you've told them, listen, I'm gonna start a similar business 90 miles away. Could you help me? A lot of people, depending on the time of day you get them, are very helpful. Other entrepreneurs want to see people do well. Good entrepreneurs. I always want to see people do well. Will they give their trade secrets away? No, they won't. But they'll give you the basics. Well, I pay this in my utilities. I pay this in my rent. I pay this in my an average employee makes. Write those notes down. Again, that's your research part. But down in your business plan area, you're putting all this down. What are your gross margins? How much, if it costs you A and you're going to sell it for B, the percentage difference is your gross profit, you need to know that. Then from your gross profit, you can figure, can I afford my rent? Can I afford a manager? Can I afford a general manager? Am I going to work it? Am I creating a job for myself? Which is fine, but you need to know all that, okay? All of these things are going into a business plan. Very important. That was number 2. Number 3. Okay, this is a huge one. Underestimating cash flow. Under financing yourself. So many friends have gone into business and they have told me they're going to do this. And I'm like, how much money you got? Well, I got 10 grand. You got 10 grand? Yeah, I got 10 grand. I'm going to spin it up with 10 grand. Oh yeah? Carl, you're going to get a whole, I don't know, landscaping business started for 10 grand? Yeah. Possible? Yes. Probable? Not so much, and I'll tell you why. The equipment alone is going to cost that, right? Then you have the business licensing. You have maybe, you don't need an accountant, but maybe you need somebody to help you with your books. There's so many ancillary things. You need to figure out how much cash you're going to need to keep the business going, the cash flow. Everybody's like, well, it's going to cost me $10,000 to start. Okay, Carl, that's great. But how about the first 30 days, 60 days that maybe, you're not getting paid right away, especially in a landscaping business. You don't, especially in today's market, you don't mow a lawn, go up to the door and say, okay, can I have my $45, please? No, that doesn't work. 30 days later, 2 weeks later, 7 days later, you send an invoice. 2 weeks later, 30 days later, 60 days later, they send a check. That's just the way business is. Now, if you're good at collections, I was very good at collections. I was extremely good at collections, and I still had problems collecting money. You can keep that tight, but keeping it tight still doesn't mean you did the service today, you get paid tomorrow, or you did the service today and you get paid today. That doesn't happen in every business. Does it happen in a coffee shop? Yes. But that being said, you have a huge outlay in inventory. You have a huge outlay in employees. You have a huge outlay in startup costs. So even though you're getting paid from day one, people are coming in, giving you a credit card. Well, first of all, credit card takes 3 to 4 days, business days, to get your money. Sure, you can get it earlier. It's going to cost you another point or 2 points. Sure, you can get it the same day. Going to cost you another 3-4 points. Sure, you can factor your invoices, which basically means you can get paid even before you have invoices. But it costs money. All of this costs money. So what you want to do is not do that. You need to have enough cash flow to get you through at least, and I say this hesitantly, at least 30 days, preferably 60 to 90 days. If your cash run is $10,000 for the month, you want $30,000, $60,000 in the bank. So you don't have to worry about that your biggest account didn't pay you, that you didn't collect from X, Y, and Z. They're a little late. You need cash flow. It's the most important. It is the thing that keeps the business going, and the number one thing, even though I have it down at number 3, I truly feel cash flow and cash constraints are one of the biggest problems with new entrepreneurs. Number 4, and I was horrible at this. Trying to do everything yourself. Bookkeeping, got it. Baking, got it. Cooking, got it. Waitering, got it. Coffee person, got it. Digging ditches, I could do that. You name it, I could do it. Well, Johnny, what is the old adage? Jack of all trades, master of none. That's me. Now, I don't want to beat myself up that bad because I think I'm kind of good with some things. But I definitely am a person that can say I can do everything. Gets me in a lot of trouble. Okay, first of all. Second of all, as I've owned businesses, sold businesses, am going to start getting back into business, I've learned this. I don't want a job. I don't want a job. So I need to rely on people to do the work. I need to make sure that my team is built out. Now, for a small entrepreneur with very limited funds, this is hard to do. Understood. I've been in business, talking about myself here, I've been in business many years. I have a decent amount of money. Again, I'm going to probably look to buy a business or two or three in the next several years. And my biggest caveat is the business has to support itself. There has to be a staff involved. There has to be a good team, because I don't want to buy myself a job. I don't. I want to make sure I'm directing the team, making sure we have a vision, making sure we're going to places that I want to go, but I'm not going to be the CEO, I'm not going to be the president, I'm not going to be the driver, I'm not going to be any of those things. That being said, in a small business, again, I understand that's hard, but you have to relinquish. You can't do everything, because what happens is, A, you don't do anything well. Period, the end. You do a whole bunch of stuff and you do nothing well. B, customers suffer, because when you get busy and you're doing everything and then you get an influx of people, you have nobody to lean on, your customers are not going to be happy, okay? This is again why I revert back to number 3, cash flow is important. This way you can hire the right people that you need. You can have the staff that you need. And these are the important things that people, they're like, oh, it's not a problem. I could do all those things. I don't need to hire X, Y, and Z. Well, Sally, you do, okay? So make sure you don't do everything yourself. And number 5, not focusing on customer service. Sam Walton, the founder of, you guessed it, Walmart, said this: there is only one boss, the customer, and he can fire anybody in the company from the chairman on down, simply by spending his money somewhere else. Never said better than Sam Walton. This man was a simple but ridiculously awesome marketer. He was a simple man, but a phenomenal marketer. He knew the customer meant everything. Now, that being said, I was in the customer service business, had a bakery, had an ice cream store, had a coffee house, had all those things. The customers are sometimes a little difficult. Listen, don't go in that business. I'm just telling you. If you can't shove it off, brush it off, say this customer's having a bad day, that's why they're yelling at me, the service business is not for you. I'm just telling you, right? Restaurant, coffee house, bakery, retail bakery. The customer is number one, basically, and it is hard to teach your staff that, because, listen, in the trenches, it's difficult. You know, they're getting beat up. People seem like they're nastier than ever, but it's your job as the business owner to try to make their day. When they come into your place, you want them to feel special. You want them to feel, oh, I can't wait to go to XYZ ice cream store. They make me so happy. I walk in, the place is bright, everybody's happy, the music is blaring, people are so excited to be there. It's your responsibility as the business owner to give that atmosphere. It's your responsibility as the business owner to breed your employees that way. If they're miserable, if they don't want to be there. And listen, you know, I had a wholesale bakery and it was tough. Morale was tough for me, for my drivers that would work umpteenth hours in a heat, in a truck without AC, with over the summer, multiple hours. I got it. I did it. It was not the easiest job. They're not, after, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours in that kind of situation, you're not in the best of moods. When you walk into a supermarket and have to get checked in and have to deal with the receiver that wants nothing to do with you, you're about to snap. But you can't do it. And you can't allow your employees to do it. It's just part of the business. So you have to focus your business around customer service. It is the only way that you're going to survive and be better than the next guy down the street. Amazon. How did Amazon become so ridiculously successful? How did it? Well, it's because they listened to their customer. Well, people want it faster, get it to them faster. People want more selection, give them more selection. People want things better. They want a whole bit, diff. They don't want books. They want everything. Give them everything. It was to the point that Jeff Bezos gave people everything and anything they wanted. Now, that's to the extreme, but customers are what pay the bills. Customers are the whole reason you're in business. Customer service matters. And if I can end this by saying anything, it's poor customer service will put you out of business faster than not having the money, faster than not having the business plan, faster than any other problem. Having poor customer service is your fastest way to going bankrupt. Remember that when you go in business. Customers are always first. Make their lives a little bit better and they will reward you. So basically, in conclusion, business is hard. Entrepreneurship is hard. Starting up companies is hard, right? These mistakes that I've outlined, almost everybody has done, and they've done them multiple times. So you have to keep reminding yourself of them. I have done videos like this before, but I can't do them enough because these mistakes that I'm talking about will make or break you. And having your employees on the same page as far as customer service, and watch your shrink. Make sure people aren't stealing cash flow. Have a business plan. Explain to your employees where you're going. People need vision. People and employees want to know where we're going. They want a plan. And if you're willy-nilly, you don't know what you're doing, it's going to be a problem. And people will leave you to a place that maybe might not be as good as yours, but has a plan, and people like to know where they're going. Okay? Love it. Sally, what'd you think? Thumbs up? All right, Carl. Forget it, Carl. I don't. All right, I'll do better next time. Carl's always so critical. Okay, we'll see you on the next one. Carl, stop it. Seriously, Carl? I don't have to be so mean. See you on the next one.